Ashram, I don't think I really have much time to run through a lot today. We'll do what we can. So on the fundamental delusion giving rise to affliction, let's look at the initial verse. The creation on all negative karma means fundamental delusion, so we understand that, and obviously how the delusion arises, and also this arises from attachments and bonds that drive it with all these afflictions that we have, and over time, and it accumulates into the 10 directions and also through the 3 periods. We'll come to the next slide on this one. So desire, form, and ignorance stir up the flames of the 3 realms, for the 3 worlds, obviously the desire, the form world, and also the formless world. So here we are on Master's explanation, and we do not realize through our own daily living, we engage in many kinds of erroneous behavior. And that's because we do not know ourselves. Right? So even though sometimes we hear a lot about the Dharma, and the moment we live where we are, we will still engage in our own worldly ways, and we can already get absorbed into our own worldly ways. So affliction and ignorance of our enlightenment and enlightened minds are akin to the natural tendencies of birds and the beasts that Master had described, and so therefore, so there's no distinction the behavior of those animals and ourselves. So, but the only difference, fundamental difference, is that human beings are capable to educate on morality. So you need to have morality to purify our minds, and then on develop the wisdom mind, and that's how we need to get out from this bondage of affliction. And this bondage would otherwise would trap us and bind us tightly, and we get entangled into all these afflictions. And so these afflictions that we have, as I say in the initial verse, will go this fundamental ignorance. And so therefore, we need to begin by knowing ourselves, even when we, after listening to the Dharma, and because we still hold on to our own ways. So we need to clear the smoke which cloud us from knowing ourselves. And all these things are, and especially when we come in contact with the external conditions, and that's when our own desire, emotion arises, and that will also continue to cloud us. So therefore, the Dharma that we have give us the lens to see ourselves. But if the cloud and the smoke is still there, even wearing the lens, we're still cloud. So we got to slowly understand and get rid of that to see through the smoke and the mirrors that are all in front of us. So over time, and all these innumerable lifetimes, we have gone through so many lifetimes, and so Master said that we have all these things, and we have sowed all these seeds of discord into 10 directions in space, and also the period of time, and the past, the present, and then we also there's a future. So if we cannot exhaust, and we definitely cannot exhaust in this lifetime, next lifetime, we still have to continue to purify away our karmic seeds. But if not, we have to go beyond that. Because you keep piling up the karmic seeds. So therefore, we keep coming back and forth like the animals, but they've got legs or otherwise, or slither through the way. And what more, and sometimes in life, then we not practice properly, and we think that that's the way one should practice. And worse still is, they not even believe in the law of karma. And if they do not believe in the law of karma, then they only believe in this one life theory. And everything will then be forgiven, everything, sins will all be washed away. And that's when we may have difficult to be liberated from samsara. So in fact, all our afflictions arise from 5 acute and self-chronic afflictions, starting with self-cherishing thoughts, thinking that's what I want, and we continue to do and live the way that I want to. So the lessons learned. Although heavenly beings live for a long time and enjoy many pleasures, they do not have a spiritual aspiration. but they can see from heavenly being and see us being filthy in the way we live. So therefore, Master Cheng Yen went on to say, it is hard for the wealthy to learn the way. They waste their time in enjoyment and continue to wallow in the mud of samsara. After they plead this blessing, for find signs of decay manifest. So therefore, even in the heavenly beings, merits can still be consumed and exhausted. And so even one aspire to go to heaven. And beyond that, that's something when once a consumer merits to come back because they do not see the need for cultivation. So this fine signs of decay, I did one of the days I did mention very briefly what these signs are. So just to define signs, in heavenly beings, everyone looks wonderful. They adorn beautiful flower on their head. So I was told. And when the signs start to decay, they did for a very long time. And the signs of decay comes about. The clothes become soil. The flower become the vita. The bodies become dirty and smelly. And then the sweat under the armpits, and they become very restless. They're not happy where they are. So if they have a very long life, so you can imagine that this mentioned all very well adorned, and they start to decay is a very suffering time and over a long period of time. So this is what I mean by this fine signs of decay, and it's even in that level of suffering because everybody will look at you with strange looks. The afflictions of greed, there are two types. Greed are the powerful. Because in interest of time, you can read about this. Greed are the powerless. You can also read about this. So we must be aware of negative karma and the fundamental ignorance, purify ourselves, and otherwise you'll be bound by the ropes of affliction that we have. So in contemplation. So we need to realize the truth of existence. And Master explained today that we need to realize ourselves, who we are, and we also need to purify ourselves. Otherwise, we'll be those who are enjoying life right now will obviously continue to enjoy and doesn't see the need. Even if one hears the Dharma, doesn't mean one will be in practice. So the question is, this condition, we are immersed in those conditions. In pleasure, we are immersed in pleasure. In pain, we could be suffering, and knowing you have the mindset to practice. So the truth of existence actually is the delusion of this existence on relationship. Like anything that arises, the emotion will abide change and eventually cease. So it takes a flare of emotion to burn a relationship that will precipitate an adverse affinity. And this adverse affinity will go into your future life. So it takes a lifetime to build a good affinity, but a moment destroy it. And my master once said a spark can burn a prairie. So you must therefore be aware of the arising of unwholesome feeling before it arises. And this is applying the four right efforts in our practice. So, Gan En brothers and sisters, here you are. Make sure that I stop before 7 p.m.
Yeah.
a.m.
Thank you so much, BrotherChin. So sorry.